Hey everyone, it's Mary Fain Brandt with a LinkedIn bakery, serving up bite-sized tips so you don't get overwhelmed. Sorry we're running a few minutes late because of course we had some tech issues. Y'all know how much I love tech issues. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I wanted to let you know that we're here. You can find me the first and third Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, with the exception of this week because next week is Thanksgiving, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm traveling and spending time with my family for the holidays, so I thought it'd be better to go live this week. So this is bite-sized tips for busy entrepreneurs, and I love having savvy business professionals on this show to help you answer your biggest questions with marketing, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and tonight, Google Analytics. That's right, folks. We're going to geek out with some data tonight with Nicole Leite. And Nicole, say hi to everybody. You're on.
Hi. Good to be here.
Nicole and I first met here in San Diego. We're both members of Hera Hub and the Marketing Success Team. And I got to be honest, I didn't really understand what Google Analytics was about. I never really understand why I was going to analyze the data that Google received. You know, I love data, but it really wasn't my thing. That's why we're having Nicole on the show, because it is her thing. So let me tell you what happened, folks. She did an audit of my website. I was like, damn, I really need to be paying attention to my data. So this month, November, is all about strategy, and Google Analytics needs to be part of your marketing strategy. I know it doesn't sound like marketing because it's not pretty glittery and shiny and bright, but it's so important that data really drives traffic to your website, can help keep people on your website and direct them where you want them to land, aka a landing page perhaps. So going through this audit with Nicole really opened up my eyes to how much we really need to look at our data, analyze the data, and probably make some changes on our websites and with our marketing. So I'm super happy to have Nicole here. No, Nicole's no longer here in San Diego. She's up north a little bit, past Santa Barbara, right?
Yep, correct.
Yeah, so that's fine. I'm going to get up there and do a road trip and stop by and see you sometime. 2019, putting it on the list. Yeah. So Nicole, she's all about Google Analytics and why we need to analyze our data. So like I said, she did an audit on my website and I was like, OMG, I really need to pay attention to this. So we are going to be working together in the future when my course is getting ready to launch. Well, before the course is getting ready to launch, we're going to do that audit and she's going to give me all the tips of what I need to change so that I can really, not only attract the people for the course, but get them to sign up and keep them on the pages. So, right? So Nicole's going to be talking about 3 things tonight. Options for getting Google Analytics on your website. It's not as hard as you think. The power of Google Analytics and why you need to pay attention to your data if you're selling anything. And if you're a busy entrepreneur, I guarantee you're selling something. And also she's going to talk, the third thing is a free tool named Optimize. That's all we're going to say right now. So I'm going to hand it over to Nicole and let her get started with telling us why we need to pay attention to our data. Right?
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm super excited. And I just want to, as entrepreneurs, we're selling something, whether it's a product or a service. Those are the 2 main things. And we want people to buy our products and service, right? So why do we need to pay attention and use Google Analytics? Why don't we start with kind of like the why behind it before we get into the how?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the why for Google Analytics is really because it helps you understand your audience and what they're doing.
Just a minute, even though I'm hardwired, so it happens. So let's start again with why we need to pay attention.
Yeah, we want to pay attention to Google Analytics because we want to measure all our marketing activities. So as entrepreneurs, we're doing a lot of marketing. We're putting a lot of budget and money and time. And even if we're using free tools out there, or we're writing content ourselves and putting it out there, we're still putting time into that, which time is money, right? Because we could be doing something else, making money at that time. So it's important to know if it's working or not. And Google Analytics allows you to do that, right? You can tag your marketing campaigns appropriately. You can see where traffic is coming from to your website. Are they doing what you want them to do? Are they seeing the content that you want them to see? Are they clicking the call? Are they downloading your freebie? You know,
yes.
It's just
opt-in, right?
Opt-in, right? Exactly. Are they buying? Are you selling products online? Are they buying? So these are all very important things, you know, that we should be looking at. And it's not just, a lot of people think, okay, well, I just need to know how they're coming to the site and what platforms and, you know, what are the different marketing channels they're touching. Well, that's not all true. I think it's important to also look at that journey on the website that the user takes, depending on.
So what's the journey? Not everybody knows what you're talking about. Right. So what is that journey that you just mentioned? The journey on the website.
So let's say they're doing research online. So they're on Google and they type in a key phrase like how to use LinkedIn. And your website pops up and they click on a blog post where you wrote an article on how to use LinkedIn. And then that would be one part of the journey. And so now you're kind of in their mind. You've also probably cookied them with some type of marketing pixel, like Facebook pixel or Google AdWords or something. And so they come up again through some type of paid advertising and end up back on your site this time through a landing page or maybe a page where they opt into your newsletter. And so evaluating these different stages of the journey can kind of help you understand if people are going through this journey or if they're not connecting the dots somehow. And so you need to refine that process.
Okay. So much to, is
it like,
no, it's not. But, so, I mean, I know about pixels. I haven't used those yet. Like, that's something that I'll be adding in 2019, but it's like all coming together for me. So Liz Cortez, who does, digital online marketing, she's all about pixels. And so that goes with the Google Analytics part. So I'm like, I've got all these voices. I'm like listening to Liz. I'm listening to you. I'm like, okay, I just need to work with both of you so that when visitors are coming to my website, then we're retargeting. Isn't that what the pixels is about?
Exactly.
I had no idea it could tie into Google, the pixels.
Well, where it ties in with Google is when the user comes back, you tag. So, to get technical here for a minute, you have a retargeting campaign. You tag the URL back to your website for that retargeting campaign that lets you know it's from that retargeting campaign. And inside Google Analytics, you're able to see that they came from organic search and then paid search or whatever that campaign was.
Okay.
Yeah. So Google Analytics really helps you with like that holistic perspective of what's going on with your marketing. A lot of times the pixels are more for remarketing. Facebook, however, I'm going to caveat this, that Facebook recently launched their analytics that is trying to compete with Google Analytics, but there's a lot of things they don't offer, and there's a lot of customizations that you can't do with Facebook Analytics that you can do with Google Analytics.
Plus, let's just say, who's the biggest search engine?
Google.
Duh.
Right.
So, like, why, duh. That's like a no-brainer. Do I want to use Facebook for my analytics or Google for my analytics? Like, that part to me, as someone who does not understand all this stuff yet, it just makes more sense that I'm going to use Google Analytics over any other analytics program out there because Google is the biggest search engine. We have a running joke in my house. If my husband asks me something, I'm like, go Google it. Like literally, I'm like, pick up your phone and Google that, just search.
Exactly.
Like something simple, like we bought, kayak racks for our car because we have 2 kayaks, so we needed the double racks. He's like, well, and they just come in a box, right? He's like, well, how do they go on? I'm like, Google it or YouTube it. You'll find a video on how to put it, right? So being from the user perspective, I'm always using Google and YouTube, right? So when I think of it from that perspective, I'm like, Mary, you really need to up your game with the Google Analytics.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I will just add this one thing about Facebook Analytics is it will measure people who have come to your page as well. So it's, you know, it's a little separate, but yeah. So,
should all businesses use Google Analytics?
Google Analytics or Adobe Analytics, which would be comparable, but most small businesses, I would recommend Google Analytics because it's free. And we like free.
I like that. That's my favorite 4-letter word, free and sale. I think there was one more we added, but free and sale are my 2 favorite 4-letter words.
Yeah.
Okay. So Google Analytics is for all small to mid-sized businesses. It's free. And if you're doing any kind of marketing, it's definitely something that you need to take a look at.
Why not? Right? It's free that you can collect this data and you can make informed decisions about your marketing efforts.
Right. So. Because I think a lot of times when people are starting off, they just throw marketing dollars out there and they're not analyzing the results. So by using Google Analytics, we could actually start analyzing if that marketing campaign is working or if we should change something like you said, I need to be better. I always like to come up with catchy headlines.
Yeah.
But I need to be like how to find a job on LinkedIn, right? I need to use simpler terms because that's what people use.
Exactly. That's right. You want to think about that end user and how they're thinking about it.
I just want it to be cute and hip and fun, but people aren't like looking for your recipe for success on LinkedIn. They're going to look on how to be successful on LinkedIn or how to,
Yeah. Save the cute, fun stuff for like a webinar, right? To attract people that way. Okay. And to, get a broader audience or something. Yeah.
I have to
or headlines but not in getting them to your website.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to have to work on that. I'm sure in the audit, you'll be like, you need to change that, and that. So that's a little bit about Google Analytics, like who would use it, what it's used for, really for analyzing your marketing data so that you can actually put money behind something that's bringing traffic to your website and not spend it perhaps somewhere where it's not bringing that traffic to your website and converting, right?
Right. We want to maximize the ROI of all our marketing efforts. So that's our goal.
Absolutely. Okay, so what else do you got for us with the Google Analytics?
Okay, so a lot of people go, okay, great, I want this on my website, so how do I do it? And it's always this scary thing. Well, fortunately, the tech industry has really been great about integrating Google Analytics with all these different CMS systems. And all you really have to do is go to Google Analytics. I think it's analytics.google.com. Sign up for an account. They'll give you a digit. It's like UA dash and some numbers. You find it in your CMS. Just look for Google Analytics. For WordPress, you'll need a plugin. For Squarespace and Weebly, it's just a setting and you put it in there and it's on your site. So you'll have some basic tracking at the very least.
So can we put that link for anyone who's watching? We can put anything that Nicole or I share tonight. We will go back after the show and we'll put links in to make it super easy for you guys to get started, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. If you're a little more sophisticated and you have a developer, there are a couple other ways to add Google Analytics to your site. They have another free tool, called Google Tag Manager. And what it is it holds all kinds of tags. So it can hold your Facebook pixels or your other marketing pixels if you need it to. And you can insert the code there. It's a lot more technical, though.
Okay, so I wanted to say, not everybody knows what a tag is.
Right.
So what is a Google tag? Can you give us like the
Yeah.
short
It's a
version?
Yeah, it's a small piece of code. Basically,
Oh,
it's
okay.
a JavaScript code that
That's
goes.
over my head.
Exactly. See, it's technical. That's why I
Okay,
call it a
so a
tag.
tag is a technical thing. So we wouldn't create these tags. We would ask somebody to create them for us.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you'd get it from your Google Analytics, basically. When you sign up for Google Analytics, it gives you a piece of code literally on your screen. It's about that big, and you copy and you paste it into your website. But like I said, if you're using your CMS, you just copy the UA number and put that in.
Okay.
They'll have really clear instructions. And you know what's so great
What?
is if you're not sure, Google your CMS and Google Analytics, and you'll find how to do it every
Oh,
time.
wow.
I do that for my clients all the time. I'm like, I've never used the CMS platform before, and I'll Google it, and
And there it
there's the
is.
instructions. Yes,
Sweet. I like it. I like it. Okay.
Google's great for everything.
I
So,
love Google. I'm a Gmail, Google Calendar girl. I just
yes.
haven't jumped fully over to the Google Analytics, but I know that you're the person to help get me there. I know that auditing my website has brought a lot to light and that I
Hmm.
need to make some changes. So, what do you want to talk about next, Nicole?
Well, let's talk about your audit, because
Okay.
when I went through your audit, a lot of things that I saw in there that needed fixing or needed to recommend some best practices to follow are very consistent that I see from entrepreneurs.
Since
I
we don't
see
know
it
any
over and
better.
over again. Yeah.
So you guys, I told Nicole, let's use my audit here on the show because that's real life. Like we can actually talk
Right.
about it. And my audience knows that I'm all about keeping it real and transparent. So you can talk about anything. I just want people to understand the importance of having data analytics and really understanding your, or Google Analytics and understanding your data. So Nicole, I'm just going to let you tear it apart and tell everyone
Okay.
and use my website as the example.
Yeah. So, Google Analytics is great. I'm always going to say that. And the funny thing is that there's a few best practices that if you don't follow these, when you're looking at your reports, you're not going to trust your data. And then you're not going to want to log into Google Analytics again because it's going to look messy or funny or
Right.
because these certain settings aren't configured correctly. So, a few of these, and these are really simple to find. These are in your typical settings for Google Analytics. They're called view settings. And a few of them are, you want to exclude your bot and spam crawlers. So basically what happens is a bot will come to your site and navigate it, and then all of a sudden you'll have referral traffic from bestsocialbuttons.com
Oh, wow.
or downloadthesefreebies.com. And you're
So you're
like,
saying that bots are trolling our sites?
yeah, not
Interesting.
all. Yes, they are. They
Okay.
are.
That makes
And
sense.
it's,
That's why they're made is to do the work. The
yeah,
bots.
right. And so you'll also look at languages and it'll just be all these weird characters. And you're like, well, how can someone be coming to my site with using this language? It doesn't exist. So they make things look messy and dirty, and people are like, I don't think it's working properly. And it's just spam and bots coming to your site. And
Wow.
all it is a little check mark in your settings
So
that
that's
you can.
funny. So, I have to do this. I have to say that it's kind of like when I worked with people on their LinkedIn profiles. I'm like, we need to optimize your settings. It's super simple, but most people don't do it.
Right.
And so when I optimize settings, there's a couple tweaks that we do that actually help keep people on your LinkedIn profile. So what I'm hearing is one of these things is kind of like what I teach on LinkedIn. It's just going in and optimizing your settings, to keep the bots and the spam off. And we want to keep people on your profile on LinkedIn. So it's just optimizing your settings is one of the things that we can all do as entrepreneurs.
Yeah, definitely. Exactly. Another one in that same section is they're called query parameters. So let's take, for example, if I go to your website and I search on your website, so I'm not searching on Google, but I'm searching on your website. In the URL string, there'll be like S equals whatever I search. So let's say I search for LinkedIn bakery. It'll have LinkedIn plus bakery. So there's a couple things there in regards to that. One is you want to make sure you're excluding those query parameters from your reports. Because if you don't, when you go to look at your reports and you look at your search page, so you want to analyze your search results page, which is a very common practice, you're going to have dozens and dozens and dozens of different pages showing up in your content reports. So then it's going to be very difficult to analyze that specific page. And sometimes you get parameters to another page because you're using some program, I don't know, some type of program to send traffic to your site. And so it might automatically add some parameters to a page that you're promoting. Well, if you're not stripping those parameters, then...
So did I need to do that on my website?
I think there were a couple, but it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad?
I've seen it way, way worse, where people are literally, they're in the moment before they even come to me. They're trying to analyze their blog content, and they have like 5 main blogs that have all these different parameters, and they can't. They have to sum it all up and recalculate everything, and it's a huge manual process. And if they just simply remove these from their list, it would just be one page, and then they could say, oh, this is how it's performing, as opposed to...
So it's like cleaning it up. It's like cleaning it up before you get the report spit out at you, so that you can actually read the report and not feel overwhelmed.
Right. Exactly. Simple. Yeah.
Clean, simple, and we don't like to overwhelm you guys. This is bite-sized tips for busy entrepreneurs. We like to keep things simple. So I like any report that I could try to understand. Thank you.
Yeah. And going back to the example about the internal search, where I was on your website doing a search, you can actually tell Google, this is my internal search query, S, or it could be Q, depending on your website. And it will pull those keywords into a report, so then you can find out, what are people searching on my website?
Oh, I want to know that. Did we look at that?
Right?
I don't remember.
Yes, we did. We did look at that. We dialed you in. We got that set up.
Okay, awesome.
So let's say someone comes to your website and they search for something that you're not writing content about, but you see people searching for that quite a few times because it's related to your industry. Well, now you have a new blog. Now you have some blog content.
So it's like asking your potential clients what they want to learn about without asking them, right?
Right. Yeah.
That is like really sneaky and good. I like that. Oh my gosh. So I don't know, you guys, it's been a while. I don't remember what's on my audit, but I'm really excited now to find out what people were searching, because then I'm going to write a blog about it, and then I'm going to drive more traffic to my website because I'm going to write about what they want to learn about, right?
Exactly. That's right.
Okay. Right. Again, I'm super excited to, it's one of those aha moments, because I'm getting more into like doing some more blogs and being a little more consistent with that.
Right.
Because blogs are, you can bust those out and repurpose them on LinkedIn and Facebook and, your website, and just have traffic like doing like this, creating your own freeway.
And you want to be intentional about the content that you're writing too, because you want to make sure you're writing for that key phrase that you want, like how to use LinkedIn,
So I have to change all the titles on everything, because I totally do the catchy fun title, and that's just for me. It's not, I got to think about it. Like, that's for me because I like it, but that's not going to what people are going to Google. So, I have to be boring like everybody else.
Oh, well, no, because you can use sub-headlines and get all fun with them that way.
Okay, I can still, okay, I'm okay with that then.
Fun. Okay. And then there's some other basic things that are not necessarily in the settings, but that are best practice So that you want to do with Google Analytics.
Okay.
So one of them is setting up goals. So I don't know how many times I'll get into someone's account and they don't have any goals. Well, if you don't have any goals, like actions you want people to take on your website, like you want them, like a lot, like you and I right now don't really have. Well, we soon have things you can buy online, but many entrepreneurs don't sell online, right? So, but they do have a lead magnet, or they have a newsletter,
an opt-in
that they want to get, right? So that would be a goal. That would be something to optimize towards. That optimize meaning I'm looking at my marketing, I'm looking at these customer journeys, and I'm looking at these paths, and I want to improve how people are getting to that process and completing it. So if you don't have that goal set up, then you're just kind of looking at...
Well, it's good to have goals and everything, right? So why wouldn't we have a goal when we're using Google Analytics? Okay.
Right. And you're dialed in with that.
Okay, good. Good to know. You guys, this is why you hire someone to handle it for you, because I have to work in my, what do they call my wheelhouse, or in my, where I'm good, my greatness, and analyzing this stuff, doing that is not where my greatness is. But it is where Nicole's greatness is.
Yeah. Oh, and then, another big, best practice recommendation I have is there's this really cool feature in Google Analytics called annotations, and there's two places to use this. There's one in the reports, like underneath the big graph. You can click on a button there, and what annotations allow you to do is they allow you to keep track of marketing initiatives or changes to your website that you've made. They're just small notes that you can put in there, so that when you go back to look at performance a year ago, like, why am I performing so bad compared to the same time last year? You can look back and be like, oh, last year we did all these different things and we're doing half as many of the activities as we did last year. So that's why we're not doing as well. Whereas if you weren't using these annotations, you would just be going through emails and notes and marketing plans and trying to piece all this together. So it's a time saver.
So wait, so what you're saying, you mean all my Post-its that I'm always writing down things? Like Google can just we can just put all those notes right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Yeah. So these are milestones, launches, changes.
Got it. Yeah, this is all really good stuff, you guys. Oh my gosh. So we have one more tool to talk about, right?
Yes, that's right. That was where I was headed to next. So I talked a lot about optimization and making things better, and data, you can look and see how something's performing, and you can say, okay, I now have a hypothesis. I want to see if it's true or not. I want to see if it's going to work or not. So let's say that hypothesis is that I think if we rearrange this page a little bit, people are more likely to opt into my newsletter or my subscription list.
So a lot of times I feel like, let me go back. So I think a lot of times, you go on a website and that opt-in, I see some people's opt-in where, they don't give up. It's over here, and then I go to a different page and there's a different opt-in. But that really gets me, because otherwise, if it's just always the same thing, you just kind of close out of it. So there's ways to optimize that?
There is, yeah. So it's called Google Optimize.
Oh my gosh. That's going to be my new favorite thing. Okay, it's my favorite 4-letter word again. Free. Yay. Okay.
I think it allows you to run up to 5 tests at a time. And what you can do with it that's so great is you don't have to actually create a different page or a different experience for your users.
Okay.
You go in and you make the little changes. It's like a drag and drop feature, and you can, it's kind of like using an editor to make changes and to whatever you want. Like if it's an image, you want to swap images or change colors or increase text or decrease text, move this here, move that there. And then you launch it and you can say, okay, 50% of my visitors to this page or this section view the original and 50% view the other. And then you can test and see and use that data to see if it's working or not. And
oh
if
my
it's,
gosh.
yeah.
I love this. I'm just commenting. We've got Amy and Stephanie on watching with us. So,
Cool.
this is really good
Hi.
stuff. Yeah. So now I want to optimize my opt-in. I want to use Optimize on Google. I love it.
It's another thing to add to 2019,
Yeah.
right?
So you guys, once again, we are going to go back after the show and we'll drop in links to all these different things that Nicole is talking about. So you can go ahead and start working on using Google Analytics and optimizing and understanding your website, your marketing. Are the dollars being spent? Is your opt-in in the right? Is it, actually, are people opting in? Like, we
Right.
all know people are opting in, but, you can kind of do, I want to say A/B testing almost.
That's exactly what optimizing.
Look at that. I
A/B,
know a technical term.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it, but I know A/B testing is
Yeah,
something I need to start doing more of.
That's what it allows you to
Okay.
do, is A/B testing. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, I'm super excited. So we have people on watching, they do courses, maybe, they're launching a mastermind, maybe they're launching a new, product. When do you start looking at your Google Analytics? Like the week before you're going to launch something? Do you do it like after you launch something? Let's talk about when you start doing that.
That's a really great question, right? Because there's the setup aspect and then there's the actually, okay, here's some data. Let's take a look and see how performance is going. So you want to make sure before you launch something, you want to make sure the different pieces are in place. You want to make sure your settings are configured properly. If you have any campaigns, you want to make sure you're using the Google Analytics campaign so you can track them, users coming to your site. And you want to make sure you have your goals set up and you want to test these things and make sure they're all working. So that would be before the launch. After the launch, you want to wait maybe, I would do like a glance just at like 7 days to kind of see how things are going. And then maybe between 14 and 21 days, maybe start to assess performance and see if there's anything that you can do to start improving results.
So it's really like ongoing because you're going to set everything up and take like a picture of where you're at now. You're going to launch your program, your mastermind, your new services, whatever it is that you're launching. Because a lot of people are thinking about 2019 and what the new services are that they're going to offer. I know that my company, we're doing that. We have done for you services coming in 2019. So stay tuned. And we have the entrepreneur course, how to turn your LinkedIn profile into a lead magnet. So we have new services and launches coming. So we just start looking like December, where we're at, how to optimize what we have. Then you do your launch or your promotion, and then you look at that maybe 7 days, 14 days after. Mm-hmm. And then what do you do?
Well, and that's your baseline.
That's my baseline. So okay.
That's your baseline. And then maybe about a month later, you start to think about strategies to start improving along the way.
So we would do that baseline, and then when I launch that course again in like 2 months or 3 months down the road, we'd be better at targeting because we've done the preliminary work. Is that kind of?
Yeah, you'll have some data that you'll have learned from the first launch, and you'll be able to use that to help inform your second launch as well.
Okay, so I have some work to do in front of me. All right. Is there anything else that you want to share with our audience tonight, Nicole? Any last tip, or do you have like maybe a special offer for the people watching?
Yeah. I do have a special offer. It's the same Google Analytics audit that I did for you.
Oh, wait, stop right there. You guys got to get this. Because I'm telling you, this really changed my whole mindset on Google Analytics. I was blown away, and I need to like pull that report up again and read it so I get excited about really honing in. Okay, go ahead, Nicole. So sorry.
Yeah, so I'm going to give away 5 free Google Analytics audits.
Wow.
They include all the configuration audits that I did for you. No code or e-commerce, just the basic configuration and setting audit like I did for you. And so free. So,
wow. So how do they get this offer?
I just need you to comment in the show notes or in the sections. Google Analytics rocks.
Oh, sweet. I love it.
I will reach out to you on Facebook and get your contact info, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. You guys, there's 5 spots to have a Google audit done by Nicole. Wait, I got to point this way with this finger. By Nicole. And this is really going to open your eyes up to why you need to do your analytics on Google. Now, Nicole, if someone just wants to reach out to you, maybe they want to set up a session with you, maybe they want to work with you long term. Do you also help with SEO then? Amy was asking if you do anything with SEO.
Not really. I mean, I can help advise on kind of what's working, what's not, where to do some keyword research.
Okay.
But there's a lot of technical stuff that goes into SEO that
I feel like that is really niche. Right?
It is very niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Amy said, wait, do you set it up if you don't have it done already? The Google
with the Google Analytics audit? Yeah, pretty much. Because I like I did with you, I just went in and made all the updates. Yeah. So I'll just need access to an account. If they don't have an account, I'll set one up. I'll set one up and get one all going for you.
Yeah.
Pretty easy going. I love this stuff. So
that's because you're a data geek.
Own
it. Wear it proud. Data geek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rocking that. Okay, well, this has been so eye-opening again to me and to the viewers. And you guys, there are 5 spots for that free Google Analytics audit with Nicole. I'd never make it as a newscaster, okay? The green screen thing. It just would not work. But we're all looking to improve our marketing and to sell more in 2019. So it's November. You need to start working on it now. So sign up with Nicole, reach out to her if you've already had a Google Analytics done, but maybe you need her to look it over for a launch or something. I know that she'll work with you. She's got great packages set up. So please reach out to her. Nicole, how do you want people to contact you?
They can get in contact me through Facebook or email me. And I think my email's in the description of the
It is in the description. So thank you so much for being on here. I know that you're super busy, lots going on, lots of great changes going on in your life. I'm super excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So everyone,
thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's so much fun. I forget. I actually like data, and I think I could be a data geek in another life. But hey, everyone, I want to remind you that you can find me here Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the first and third Wednesdays of the month, typically. We'll be back on that schedule in December, and I've got 2 rock stars coming on in December. We're going to be talking about Facebook groups and bots. I've got Bella Vasta and Kelly Noble coming on in December. You can find all that information out on my Facebook page. And I want to remind you that I have a Black Friday special coming. So this one's really special and it's near and dear to my heart. If you are looking for a job, there's no shame in that game, or you know someone who's looking for a job, and a career switch, a career pivot in 2019, I'm going to help you out. I have a LinkedIn course just for job seekers, and it's 60% off as we launch this. I want to say it's 5 modules. There's 4 done. I think I'm going to throw a bonus module in there. And if that's something that you're interested in or know someone, you can just type in jobs, #JobSeeker2019, and I'll send you the information for that. Okay. Again, that's a Black Friday special coming out next week because I cannot believe Thanksgiving is next week. What are you doing for Thanksgiving real quick? Do you cook? Do you go somewhere?
I do cook. I'm hosting my entire family here. I've got 15 people coming over. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Bound down. That's a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm excited. I like it.
I like it too. We're going to be whipping up some Thanksgiving food out at the lake with my dad and my stepmom.
That'll be so much fun.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. Okay, guys. Well, I got to run. I got to finish my grocery list for Thanksgiving because, everything will be out. The stores will be empty and I'm not going this weekend because it'll be too crazy. Do you already have your bird, or where are you getting your bird from? Your turkey?
This natural store up in Santa Maria. I want it, like, it's not going to be dead until Monday. Like, I'm going fresh here.
What do you mean it's not going to be dead? Like, they're going to go out and shoot the turkey?
I don't know. I just know it's going to be fresh. So that means they're probably killing it this weekend is my guess.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not.
I live in the sticks now, so, you know.
You're like, I'll take the one by the fence over there. I'll take Geraldine. She looks good.
Yeah. Oh, no names. You can't give them a name.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. I want organic and grass fed, and we're going to brine it.
Okay.
Brine it. So you do you make the brine and put it on a layer of ice, and then in a big bag, you put it in a big bag with the brine, and then put the bag in an ice chest on a layer of ice and a layer of ice over it, and let it sit for 12 to 18 hours.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I might have to look into that. I always just stuff mine with rosemary.
It's really moist. It's going to be awesome.
Oh,
okay, guys, I guess you probably don't want to know all about our Thanksgiving stuff, but hey, that's how we're rolling. We're keeping it real, fun, and informative. So if you need that recipe to brine your turkey, let me know. Hey, and tell us what you're going to do for Thanksgiving, because you know what? We are a community of connectors here, and I would love to know what you're going to have on your plate next week. We got to run. Take care, everyone. See you in December. I'm going to say goodbye.